Good morning. This is morning in Sweden, uh, and I think it's April 14, 2022. And it's it's a little exciting, but I'm not in very much about political things. But it can change many things when Sweden going into NATO, because we are in so close to Russia, so they don't like that we are going into NATO. And tomorrow, our government here in Sweden are going to tell us if we are going to join Finland to ask for be member in NATO. We have not been there, but today it was. I have to drink a little water. But today they were saying in the news that Turkey, the country Turkey, doesn't want us to be member, and in the NATO, all members, I think it's 30 countries, all members have to say yes to those that want to be members, and Turkey doesn't want it, and Ardian, he say that our countries are terrorist countries. We are host terrorists from all over the world, and that's true. That's true. It's sad for those people that try to start a new life in Sweden and Finland and are being seen to be criminal and terrorist when they are not. There is many nice people from other countries out from Europe. There is many people that is good for our countries, and so and that is very strange for him to say it like that, because Turkey have lots of terrorists in their country, so he's targeting wrong things, because the terrorist is all over the world, that we have invited them to our countries, and they have some countries is very hard to come into, that they check out. But it's lies. There is lies everywhere, and they can. I know, since I was in the United States and I live with those Muslims, that they help each other to come in, and they have fake papers. Some get come in because someone that is already in the country and have a great job, and they are, like Erdogan is saying, the Turkish president is saying that it's a terrorist up in the governments, and that's what they want. It's not those terrorists those that is leader for terrorist organizations, they are not walking on the street and throw rocks and do those things and stab people. They are sitting like a spider in a net and make people, the lower people in the net, to do all the things that is criminal. But the biggest terrorist is those that are have working themselves up to be in the government. And that's is terrorism, but also other things like with money, to wash money and do drugs. Those drugs problem we have, they are sitting in the government, and because they have target the governments all over the world. So it's not a special country that have this problem, and that belong to these last days. Now I'm going to tell you something very nice, something positive. Yesterday I was approved from Amazon to be on Alexa with my podcast. They check out my podcast and they accepted it. So now if you have Alexa or those system, I think it's when I get approved to be on Amazon and on Alexa, this that you, if you don't know this e-team, it's computer things that you talk to Alexa. It's a loudspeaker, and you tell them to find something for you, and then it's automatic find what you have. Yeah, I tested it yesterday as I was on internet, test some of the keywords I have placed in there and check out what Alexa was saying, and she tried to find my podcast, and that's what it is, and it's going to be more and more of it. That people don't want to sit on the computer; they only is saying to these computer things that find me the address to, and then Alexa is saying, because people are going to be in that way. It's like a robot thinks. It's what God was telling me in year 2000 when he come down and talked to me the first time. He had no, it was not the first time, because he had talking to me before that when I was a young child, but as an adult person, he was talking to me the first time, and I asked him what about these aliens, UFO, and he thought I didn't see him. I only heard his voice, but the voice was like and you know, I feel it. What how the spirits are feeling also. They don't need to show me their face, uh, if they have a face. But so God was saying that to me, that those aliens was the people of the future. And it was for 22 years ago. And we are coming into this, the people of the future. Yeah. And it's coming to me, these I have, it's a spirit on me, so it's very hard to talk now. You know, it's what's happened when the spirit's coming closer to my home, and it's on her way coming inside my home. But this is something I think I have not talked to you about, but it was when I have this. I live with my daughter's father out in the forest, and we had this spaceship parking on our new built big house, and they coming in the night and did things to me. I wake up one night and it was this. They look like this woman, the mother of heaven. It looked like she was there in my room, and I saw. It's very strange when I lay down. I lay in the bed. I can see over my head, so like the spirit is going out from my body and look down, and that what happened. I wake up in the night and this turquoise energy was over my head, and they have opened up my head and was into my brain and working. And they have taught me for a long time ago. They started 1978, was it, that they started to teach me about how to do telepathy. And so I say that to them because I couldn't move my body, I couldn't move my mouth, I couldn't talk to them, but I could talk to them in telepathy, so I did. And I say that I'm awake, I say. So then they heard me, and they took me down again, so I was not there. I was sleeping and wake up. But I remember that I was over my body and looked down when that they had opened my head and put in something in my brain. And the spirit come in to me now. I don't know what this spirit will talk, or if it want only to confirm what I'm talking about. We'll see. But he or she come into my body, and Oh, it's so hard to, because now it's my brain and then is the spirit in me that it's so hard to talk and think. Um, the it um, it was about 2005 when I had just coming back from United States, and I had this. I was not in homeless shelter in Sweden. I got an apartment, but very bad apartment, a one-room apartment, and but one night when I was on my way to fall to sleep, I felt someone was in my room, but as soon as I felt and I saw a light moving on in my ceiling, they took me away, and I wake up, but I remember it. That is what they don't really understand, or do they understand that I remember everything they are doing when are awake. They try many times. They try to erase the memory of people, but they don't. They can't do that on me because I remember everything, what they are doing when I see it, and so I know it was someone coming in from. Like a spirit coming in, but it doesn't felt like that in my body. I only saw that it was like a swirl in the ceiling, and then because it the night before that, I had a, it was like a computer thing. It if you are old enough to remember a DOS system in the computer, and maybe there is some of it. The DOS system is gone from computer, but it's still the basic of it there in the computer today also, and you maybe have seen it. There is a blue background, a real blue background, and then there is a white words, and it was someone was like typing on that screen, but I only see the screen, and it was I am, and it says I'm going tired, I can't do it anymore, and then it's come up many different letters. It didn't come up any words. It was, I understood that something inside my brain was going to crash. It crashed inside me. I knew that they have placed something in my brain because they did that. As I say, that I wake up and I saw that they were doing something with my brain, and now it was like it that what they placed into my brain was gone. And it was very strange to say. It says on their own that they I can't make it. I gonna crash like that. I don't remember exactly the words. And then it was XL2, 4, many different until it was stopped in my brain. And then next night it come this swirl in the ceiling, and I knew. I was thinking before they block my brain, I was thinking they are here now. I was saying that into my brain. They are here now. And I knew it was aliens or something coming in and repair my brain in that part, what they wanted me to have. So I think I still have that inside my brain, but you can't. Some people have said to me that have with the alien and UFO to do, that tell me to go to the doctor and ask them to x-ray your brain. But that, at least not here in Sweden, I can't go to a doctor and say that they should x-ray my brain. And then they send me to a mental sick hospital, if I should say that. I can't do that. But I know that something do I have in my brain that make me have the contact in all the years, my whole life. So it's popular to say, I have a ship, and it can be because a ship can have very much inside it. It's not a whole computer screen in my brain. It's maybe some kind of ships, and so that what we are going into the future, that is, the future is 1 second from now, and things that we don't know. The future is things that we don't know. You can have plan for your future, but on that way to do the plan you have for your life, it can happen many things that make you not could do it. So the future you don't know. I was on my way to tell you about this when I have this aliens coming in very much. They parking. I didn't know they were parking on our roof. It was one day. It was a summer day, just in the middle of the day, in a lunchtime, and my daughter, she was about 7-8 years old, and she have a friend in our home, and they were playing, and I was by myself with them, and suddenly it come a very strong wind, and we it started to be very much wind, and it was summer, and in that time we in the 80s we didn't have 90s, was it, in the beginning of 90s, we didn't have air conditioner, so the only thing we had to our home, it was to open the windows and let the wind blowing in and make it a little colder if we were lucky. So I'm used with very hot weather, and and all the windows was open, so start to come a very strong wind. So I have to lock the windows. I have to close the windows very quick. And the last window I come to, it was almost that I couldn't close it because the wind was so very hard. But I'd be scared. So it's be like the Hulk, that green man, that you get extra power. So I could close the window, and then after 1 minute of very strong wind, then it was gone, and then I. It was when I went out to the garden, I didn't know that. I was really surprised that I have some concrete boxes where I have flowers in our garden, and we have a tent where we sit when we do barbecue. I have the tent like for the shadow, and it was gone. It was so strong wind, so it took the tent, and we never saw it again. And the concrete's big, like 1 meter wide. It was 3 concrete boxes I had on the grass outside. They had been lifted up in the air and going down in another place. So it was a tornado, and I look in on the sky also when the wind was going down. I saw that was like a dark blue pipe that was flying far away, gone. But our neighbors, they didn't get it. It was only our house that was the target for the tornado. I went down there, and our house was just built, and it was a handmade built house. So it was a really good built house in the old way to do it. So it could stand there without anything that disappeared. It was only around in the garden that it was. So it was very. I know it. It was a test to see how strong the house was, so they could parking their spaceship on our roof. And it was a 3-floor house we had. 8 rooms did we have, and my daughter's father still lives in that house, so they test it, and then in that time there come someone that I didn't see. It was someone was. I was laying and I should take a nap when someone was talking to me, and he was talking to me about those aliens. Aliens are out from our Earth. It's someone out from this, coming from the space, and and I don't know exactly what it was, but he was talking to me, and he warning me, and it was in in that time when they abducted me. The aliens abducted me in 1994, and it was around that time I was taking a nap, and that voice come, and it was not God's voice, that I know, but this say to me that their planet, he was saying about their planet, our planet, they were like your planet, he said to me, but we messed it up, this alien was saying, and it we wanted to make it so technical as we could do, so we were breeding children that was very intelligent and technical intelligent, so we breed those children, and we got the perfect planet, but we forget to place in emotional love inside those children. They know only how to build things, to do technical things, he said to me. And then he said to me, because he know that I had this garden, and I was growing in that time roses very much, and he said to me an example, and he said that it's like a rose, that you see the rose as very beautiful, and you want to put it together with some roses sort that have fragrancy, the smell of it, very nice smell, and you put them together, and that rose that will be mixed of these two roses, it's gonna be beautiful rose, but it will never smell. And that was the problem before, in that time, was it like that. They couldn't do beautiful roses with very nice fragrancy, to smell very nicely. They couldn't do that, but they can do that today. But I understood it, what he was saying, that and I understood that later on when I was in the United States, and I was in that church I was going and do the class in, for to be some sort of workers in the church, and there was come a man that he had the gift to know people, who they were, and I did a test. I have talking about this in another episode, so I don't go into it in details. But we did a test on the computer with many questions. It took a whole day to do the test, and then this man have this result on papers, and then he was talking about the people that have done that test, and then he come to that paper that was mine, and he said to the church that he had never seen so much love in the test. No one had this so much love in them. And it was me that he was talking about, that I had so much love in me. And I understand that that's what they were going for, the aliens, why they were with me, because they wanted to know how I could be so much loving person, because he said that to me, that they lost their emotional, they lost their soul. The soul is the emotional things we have in our body, and they lost it. And that's how they are. It's like they are robots, because they have no feelings, and they don't understand that they hurt us. They don't understand that they scare us. These things, they don't know it, because they don't have that inside them. So that was it talking about. And then I was thinking, I know that in that time that there is like a sperm base. It's those that is professor intelligent, and there is some sports people. They have a store unit with a sperm of them and egg from some women also, and they try to make those super intelligent babies. And I know it, as I have been had friends that was it was like mental issues very much, and but they were made of very intelligent parents, and it doesn't always work so good. So it's be too much of it, so they go crazy. So it's very hard to do it for them. But I know that there is in Germany, is it so those that is very wealthy people, that they can buy those sperms and make babies that is very intelligent, that can continue with their business or what they are doing to keep their business. So there is it exists, and but I don't know if it's working today, but it was in that time, in the beginning of the 90s. But maybe they saw that it didn't work out so much to do it, to put in sperm from a very, very intelligent person like that. But he warning about it, to that we are going to it on this planet. And I am not against technology, but the technology can go so wrong. Like the bomb, atomic bomb. It was good in the beginning when they find it out, but what have they done with it? they are scared. All countries is talking about nuclear weapon and these things. And now they are going into biologic weapon instead. And they that is, I don't go out when I see those airplane coming, and there is like those tracks behind the airplane that look like is chemical trucks behind the airplane. I don't go out before it's gone. It's I counted out, like now it's reached the ground and not in the air, and then I can go out. But I don't go out when it's I see those chemical trail from airplane. It's going slowly down to the ground, and that's what they are doing. And they have no answer about the coronavirus, but it can be something like that caused this big problem. Because they test those chemical things on us, and we are close to Russia, as I say from the beginning. So it can happen that they have test things on us and see how we react. So there is much threats, but we know it on those other episodes that have been that the spirits are coming and say that we should hold our peace, and our mindset, the spirit is confirming here now. It is moving around in my body now. That he confirmed, the spirit, that I don't know if it's a woman or man, and it doesn't matter, because the spirit have no gender, really gender, if they don't want us to understand things about it. And so I think the spirit want to talk. It's something I wait for. But he say I should go on and talk, and I say you have disturbed me, so I don't remember what I was talking about. It's confusing for me because he's moving around here, and what I was talking about the alien and this, it's the spirit here that wanted me to talk about it, for you to understand that this is not these narrow things that you see and hear here on this planet. There is so much going on that we people don't understand and realize, and that is why we have God. That's why we have heaven. He's talking now to you. He's talking to you now. He started to talk about God and heaven. and I wait on him to talk more. That's why you have God, for the protection. So in yourself, you should not be worried about everything what's going on. Because if you know God and you have God in your life, there is no need to be worried, to have any fear. It's not needed because you are taken care of. But those that doesn't know God, the real God, they don't have this protection. And of course, it's planted into them the fear from the enemies, because they have no protection from heaven and not from God. He's saying that only protection, and the only you need to have protection from is from God. The only fear that you should have is the fear to be divided from God. But that you can overcome by get the connection with God and know who is the true God, and not be frightened about those hosts in heaven that coming down and want to talk to you. This is only one place where we know that we are welcome. But you can open your doors for us to come in and talk to you. You don't need to know everything from this source. You can have your own source in your mindset and in your heart, that you have like a receiver from it. And if you take away those closed doors that you have in your heart and in your brain, then we can communicate with you, and you will understand that there is not to be worried about, not to have any fear, because we are here for you, to help you and protect you. So this is what he was saying. And now he's waving. I see a arm waving. So he's going to leave here with those words. So I thank you for coming and tell my listener to not be worried, have fear, and let in those thoughts that this is crazy talking or mental issues talking, that this is the light and the truth. This is the spirit and truth. So thank you for have listened. I feel very, very much of this energy that have left now, but they make me be very, very tired. And if I go to bed now, I will sleep very deep, because I'm tired in my body, because they use my energy to talk to you. So it's drained me out from energy, but it's coming back very quick. The more they are coming and talking to me, the more faster I get back my energy. I am used. I start to be used that they drain me out from energy, and that make me could start quick again to get energy back. So it it left now. it now I start to get my energy back, because you heard it was going out, what drained me. So thank you, and God bless you. Thank you for listening. And I know many doesn't understand this, but you that have followed me, that's for you, this episode. You understand it. And you are blessed to understand it, because that means that you are coming closer and closer for every day to be with God, to have this, to enter into the new Jerusalem, to enter into the golden city. And if you're working hard for God and not for yourself, then you can also be in the throne room of God, the most, the very best you can get, because there is everything there. In the throne room you have everything there. So thank you.